Who,
You ever watch?
who cares?
You ever watch The Magician, Cortez?
Yeah.
What's a magician do? He has you watching his left hand while his right hand's pulling rabbits. Irsay just came back from a suspension.
Yeah.
He just came back from a suspension. He's avoiding them questions. But like I mentioned to you off the air,
they should have keep him suspended if he's going to come back and say stupid shit like this.
But as I mentioned to Cortez off the air, Kevin, while you were babooning around Jacksonville down there.
Hey, I was looking for my son's Halloween costume.
All right, resume.
Duct tape, FYI. But as I said, what a crapshoot! Because he can Peyton Manning without even knowing if Andrew Luck was going to pan out. Not only that, do you remember not too long ago there was a debate, RG3, Andrew Luck, who was going number one. Could you imagine the shitstorm in Indianapolis right now if they'd have taken RG3 number one instead of Andrew Luck? Irsay got lucky and he realizes it. That's why he's shooting his mouth off.
Well, he canned Peyton before he even knew if Andrew Luck was going to be there or not. That was another one of them things. He canned Peyton before that season even worked itself out. So you didn't know if
you knew it was coming.
But you didn't. But Luck could have sustained a death injury when he was at Stanford. You never know.
He didn't officially can Manning until February of 2012. Is when he officially canned Manning. But the writing was on the wall.
Oh yeah.
My thing is though, he got lucky because up to the week of the draft, it was Griffin or Luck. They didn't know who, and even at one point they thought Trent Richardson was going to go number one. Yeah. So he threw the dice on a 1 or 3 shot because let's face it, the other two are kind of bust. Yeah, RG3's a bust. When you're hurt twice in your first year, you're a bust. And he got lucky. But that's why he's shooting his mouth off. If he had picked up RG3, with what's happened with him, you wouldn't be hearing the same confidence in Irsay.
No, I definitely agree with that. And also with that, I mean, with this serious neck injury that Manning had, nobody really saw him being...
Nobody saw him throwing 50-something touchdowns again.
Yeah, exactly. So that was like... So that's probably getting on surprise, too. Because imagine, like you said, John, that if they drafted RG3 and Manning is throwing all these touchdowns at his age...
They'd be getting killed.
Oh, Lord. That to me, it would be tearing him apart right now.
Yeah, he got lucky. No, pun intended. They got lucky.
They got lucky. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, they both kind of buried the hatchet. I don't know. This story still come out
here.
They
should have just let it go. Peyton's making millions gajillions off of Papa John's right now in freaking Colorado.
Yeah.
And the nationwide.
Yeah, he's he's a
horse's petite.
Well, he owns most of the ones in Colorado.
Yeah,
and he said a certain bill that went through has made his pizza ring really go up. And yeah,
Kevin, you can say it. We're all adults.
The marijuana, all them people smoking that shit, they all get the munchies and help this Papa John's business go.
So the Adrian Peterson helped contribute to that.
Oh yeah. Smoking that shit.
Oh man! All right, let's cover a little bit of NFL Week 5. Let's discuss it because I know
Week 6 about to start.
In about 15 minutes. So, some of the games that y'all thought about, or some of the games that stick out to mind, or
none.
What do you think, John?
I think the laser pointer thing was kind of interesting. I think the laser pointer thing was kind of interesting in the Bills-Lions game. It's the first time I've seen a laser pointer relevant since about 1998. So I thought I didn't know they still made them. So that was kind of cool.
They still have the announcements before wrestling that you don't need to use.
I, as a fan, the Bucs game frustrated me, but it was actually fairly entertaining.
Yeah.
What the hell is up with the Eagles special teams is a question I would like to know.
They're the only reason they score points.
I know, really. What the hell is up with the Eagles special teams? That is pretty freaking awesome. I will say that much. Other than that, it was kind of a dull week. Russell Wilson went off on Monday night.
Yeah, and neither one of us played him in our fantasy league.
Yeah, well, I had
You had Lynch.
yeah, well, I had Russell Wilson sitting on the bench.
I know you did. I had Drew.
Well-
I had Tom Brady sitting on the bench.
So let's do some quick hits. Thought about the New England because Cincinnati come in as a,
Welcome back.
Well, I will commend New England for what they did off the field. The whole thing, I'm embarrassed. I'm blanking on the kid's name, Devin Stills, right?
Yeah, Steals. Yep.
The way they did that, the start of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and honestly, I'm going to say it, and you can call me a heathen. I hate the entire month of October, the pink cleats, the pink gloves, the pink everything. Give it a rest. Breast cancer is not the only cancer. But I do appreciate that.
You know why they do it, right?
Susan G. Komen.
No, you know why the NFL is so big on doing it, right?
Marjorie Kraft, Robert Kraft's wife.
And they want to bring in they want to bring more females to watch the game and to be able to sell more merchandise to females.
Nothing attracts females like wearing something that reminds you of something that might make you lose your breath. But I do commend Robert Kraft and the New England Patriots because no matter how important it was, and he lost his wife to breast cancer, they took a minute to acknowledge there is other types of cancer out there. And the fact they did that on the road shows people want to criticize the Patriots all they want. It shows a lot of class by the
it was amazing.
Patriots organization.
Did you see the video?
I like that.
No, I'm gonna see the video.
The video is great. All the they show a thing on the scoreboard with all the kids battling cancer, and then they come back down, and all the cheerleaders are wearing his jersey, and they show his daughter on the board and everything, and he started crying, and so it was a cool story. Yeah, it was cool.
Cleveland coming down with what is it? The record of comeback against Tennessee. I mean, job on what Brian Hoyer has done for this team so far. Y'all thoughts on Mr. Hoyer here?
Anything he can do to keep that douche on the bench.
Johnny who?
I'm all for it.
Johnny who?
Exactly.
We always say that guy, right?
That dude.
That dude.
He's doing it with Miles Austin. Do people not realize it? He's doing it with Miles freaking
Imagine
Austin.
what he does in week 10.
I love it. I love the underdog story. I love that this kid from Cleveland, or this kid, wherever the heck in Ohio he is keeping this obnoxious, unprepared punk on the bench even longer. I hope Cleveland makes the playoffs.
I hope so too, and this is good.
I love it.
Well, this is
They
good.
won't. They'll implode.
Yeah, but this is good for Hoyer because didn't he come from the Patriot branch where he was under Tom Brady a bit? So, I mean, he kind of learned how to do things, the right way and keep his mouth quiet and everything like that. So,
This just proves that Johnny Football was out being Johnny Football this summer, and now he's not getting anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it because, they were down 28-10 at the half, and Hoyer came back in poised and calm and won. And their defense is doing it.
I agree with you there. All right.
I love it.
All right, one more thought on this, and this is the New York Jets. They benched Geno Smith.
They suck.
And they started Michael Vick. Michael Vick was on radio, said I was not prepared for the situation. And Geno Smith actually showed up late to a meeting, blaming it on the time zone location there. Thoughts on the quarterbacks here, and what kind of mess is the New York Jets in right now?
They suck.
If John McNabb can get away with saying he didn't know a game could end in a tie, I give Geno Smith credit for the not knowing the time zone thing.
Yeah.
But you know what? You're only hurting yourself.
They suck.
Michael Vick is 35 years old, 34 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's not any younger. So why are they branching the future? If this kid's going to suck, let him suck till he gets better or find a replacement. Plugging in a 35-year-old quarterback, 34-year-old quarterback at the end of his career is not doing the Jets organization any favors. They should have kept Mark Sanchez.
You know what? You know you suck when your fan base is screaming for the guy that shall not be named to come back to New York and play quarterback.
Yeah.
That's when you know you suck.
But yeah, that's what.
They have to be the worst team in the NFL.
I'm about to say this ain't all on Geno though. This team
I wouldn't say they're the worst team in the NFL. They're the worst team with the most potential in the NFL.
They're bad. They're bad. They only beat Oakland.
I don't.
Oakland bad too.
Yeah, but this team, it just and everybody always look at
Oakland got beat by the bye week for God's sake.
I don't know, man. I'm looking at this and I'm like, that's why I don't know, man. All right, well, we go to this session of the show where any Week 5 MVPs that stand out in your mind so far. What you think, John? Your Week 5 MVPs, you got something in your mind, or?
I do. I have an MVP and I also have an LVP because they came in the same game. Actually, I have a couple.
Well, hey, before you go to your LVP, we all do that anyone you like to call out next. So say your LVP.
AFC MVP is Brian Hoyer. A brilliant performance, led the team back to a come-from-behind victory. NFC MVP, if they just learned to win, I would say Mike Glennon. Well, Russell Wilson was unconscious on Monday night.
He was nuts.
You want to talk about a quarterback putting the team on his back, but not having the numbers. He only passed for 200 yards, but he single-handedly put Seattle on his back in a sloppy game and showed why he's a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
And he ran for 111 yards. 111 yards. He ran for it.
That's your MVP, Russell Wilson.
Russell, I like Russell.
Russell.
And I still don't like really talking about Russell a lot.
Hey, did you draft a punter?
Yes, we did. Shut up.
All right, my MVP.
He's a weapon.
It's gonna go to Demaryius Thomas. This guy's been in a cold streak. We all know how horrible he's been the first couple of weeks, and for him to have a heck of a game, 200-some yards. It was very impressive. So I'm giving Demaryius Thomas the nod on here. I know it's a little homer pick, but I'm going with there. Andrew Luck is still doing what he does. He's actually a league leader in yards and touchdowns. I think I want to be correct on that, but
he's a league leader in shitty beards is what he's doing.
So
he's also sponsored by Geico, isn't he?
Damn.
All right, well, John, go ahead and call your. We call anyone you like to call out, but I guess you won't call him least valuable player. So go ahead.
I'm going to say two things, man. Least valuable player. When you're responsible as a team for more penalty yards than rushing yards, you're going to get called out. The offensive line of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers was horrible. They are my least valuable player. One series late in that game, they started out first and goal from the 20, ended up 3rd and 29 from the half-yard line, ended up with a safety to turn the game around. 3 consecutive holding penalties. They alone were responsible for 11 penalties for 125 yards. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers rushed for 60. When your offensive line has more penalty yards than rushing yards, you're part of the problem. My other least valuable player is the officials across the league. I swear to you, if we took penalties off television, where the official did not get FaceTime on TV, you would see less penalties. I'm sick and tired of every time a big play coming around, a penalty. I'll give you an example. Now, I already talked about the sloppy, undisciplined line in Tampa. Tampa had 3 plays in the first quarter for a combined 70 yards called back for penalties. But not only that, every scoring drive in the second half for both teams was prolonged because of a penalty in the defensive backfield. Enough's enough. Stop calling these damn penalties. Learn the difference between incidental contact hands to the face and pie facing somebody. Enough with the stupid penalties. Across the NFL, they're slowing the damn game down. It's making it hard to watch. You can't enjoy a big play because you're looking for a freaking flag.
Percy Harvin scored 3 touchdowns, but didn't score 3 touchdowns.
Yeah. It seems like they're trying to make the game about them.
You knew they were making the game about him when the one guy turned the wrong way and was facing the wrong way and there was announcing the penalty. And then he went, shit, and turned around just so he could get on screen.
But enough's enough, man. I don't like these